Visually stunning performance like never before. Only with the second-generation Intel Core i5 processor.
Come in, Boogie Boy. You're late. Have you got the papers that Chinaman gave you?
Here it is, Dad. Is it a surprise?
Yes, Boogie. In the past, this information has been suppressed, but now it can be told. Every man, woman, and mutant on this planet shall know the truth about de-evolution.
Oh, Dad, we're all evil.
We lost our tails, evolving up from little tails. I say it's all just wind and sound. Are we not men? We are Evo. Are we not men? EVO. We're pinheads now. We are not whole. We're pinheads all. Just oh, are we not men? We are Evo. Are we not men? EVO. Are we not men? We are Evo. Monkey and all in business suit. Teachers and critics all dance the food. Are we not men? We are Evo. Are we not men? EVO. Are we not men? We are Evo. Are we not men? EVO.
I think at one point in the late 60s, I was really interested in making videos. And the problem was getting a hold of the equipment. But I got accepted at USC, and I had this idea that I would make videotapes when I got there, and that I would get equipment and stuff like that. The whole experience with the film school was just a disaster. It was very much in the industry. You know, a film begins with a script. You first develop the script, and then you go on to the film. I was coming from an art background, and I was not really interested in narrative. I'd done some films that had a type of narrative, but I really wasn't interested. You know, actually, the only people who had actual hands-on with the equipment were certain privileged graduate students who had already written their script, or who had already, you know, this whole access was a problem. And then I ended up making arrangements with the video technician at the dental school at USC. And so these tapes start happening. And the tapes were sort of, in the beginning, were very much about, it's me as the artist making something to do with, and very minimal, just using what is ever in the room. This one, Ma Bell, was done at the same time that all those other tapes were done. The building was owned by the city and had lent it to USC, and they were storing stuff there. So they had stored like an entire floor of telephone books. And I'd made these paintings using black motor oil, and so there was all this black motor oil that I had, and I'd been making another piece with cotton. So these materials were kind of there in the room. And it has a kind of narrative to it, like going through this book, and then, you know, like I'm making a sculpture on one hand. I thought it would be way more static and quiet, and me painting a book with using the cotton as a kind of brush and the oil as liquid or paint. What happens in it, though, which was critical, is that I start to laugh. It was spontaneous. I just started laughing. Then I, you know, exaggerated it. It's the pages of a telephone book, and these are all the names of the people who live in LA. And it's this hysterical laugh, and, you know, something to do with LA, like a curse on LA or something, like this kind of crazy witch-like laugh, and or insane laugh. It became not just about painting a book, but about sort of you know, the expression of a kind of mad persona, and a kind of insane painting, you know.
Tu as dormi?
Non.
Bienvenue à Berlin.
Pouvez-vous me dire de quoi vous vous rappelez? J'étais dans un taxi. J'ai eu un accident. Vous êtes resté dans le coma pendant 4 jours. Comment vous appelez-vous? Je suis le professeur Martin Harris. J'ai été absent 4 jours. Ma femme est quelque part dans cette ville qu'elle ne connaît pas.
Pardon, monsieur, avez-vous une invitation?
C'est ma femme qui est là-bas. Lise.
Nous nous connaissons?
Qu'est-ce que tu as? C'est moi. Je suis ton mari.
Martin?
Vous êtes le professeur Martin Harris?
J'ai l'impression. Tu connais?
Non.
S'il te plaît, faites-le sortir.
Lise. Pour ce type de traumatisme sévère, il n'y a pas de règle. Les souvenirs sont perdus ou morcelés. Je ne suis pas fou. Il doit y avoir des preuves que je suis bien moi. J'étais dans votre taxi. On a eu un accident. J'ai besoin de savoir ce qui s'est passé.
Vous n'êtes pas en sécurité. Vous êtes surveillé.
Ils avaient réussi à me convaincre que j'étais fou. Mais quand ils sont venus me chercher, j'ai compris. C'est un code très simple. C'est l'écriture de ma femme. Ils ont des passeports, des cartes de crédit, des photos de famille. Lâchez-moi!
Qui sont ces gens? Ils peuvent devenir qui ils veulent.
La question est, pourquoi est-ce qu'ils voudraient prendre votre place?
Je ne sais pas qui est cet homme. Mais vous devez l'arrêter. Sinon, beaucoup de gens vont mourir.
Il n'y a pas de Martin Harris. Il n'existe pas.
Je suis Martin Harris. Je n'ai pas tout oublié.
What's in your mind? Your love, sweet, free.
Quoi? Tu as trouvé du travail? Et tu m'as rien dit?
Bien dans son époque, bien dans sa Twingo.
500 Renault Twingo 1,2 litre à 7... Non.
Ich bin Pepperminta.
Sind Sie deppert?
Meine Großmutter sagte,
mach immer, was du dich nicht traust. Und schau, was passiert.
Hallo, kommen Sie runter, Sie dürfen da nicht stehen.
Hallo?
Sie haben gewonnen.
Kommst du jetzt?
Wohin?
sind wir hier?
Bitte entspannen Sie sich und bereiten Sie sich auf einen Orgasmus vor.
Ich nehme den Salat.
Aber was wollen Sie wirklich? Was wollen Sie wirklich? Wirklich, wirklich?
When you wanna find the colors for the blue.
Faudrait vraiment que je sois moins replié sur moi-même comme ça, moins renfermé, que je m'ouvre. Il faudrait que je sois plus ouvert à ce qui peut venir de l'extérieur. Il faudrait que j'échange, il faudrait que je donne aux autres aussi. Mais
c'est mignon tout ça. Hein,
je sais pas si ce serait vraiment mieux en fait. Et
petite salope. Tu te touches à moitié, non?
J'ai du mal de toute façon.
T'as l'air d'aimer ça.
Mais faudrait que je donne plus que je sois plus gai, que
je vais me gêner peut-être. Hein,
que je donne plus d'amour,
tu sais pas que je te vois là. Et tu te touches à moitié, dis donc. T'as l'air d'aimer ça.
Il faudrait que je devienne vraiment quelqu'un d'autre à ce moment-là.
On y toucherait bien ce petit cul, hein.
Que je devienne quelqu'un d'autre et puis moins replié sur lui-même.
Tu sais pas que je te vois là à travers mon petit trou, hein.
Faudrait vraiment que...
C'est mignon. Petite salope. Tu sais pas que je
sois différent. Faudrait que je sois moins replié sur moi-même.
Ils nous dérangent avec leur mobilette.
Que je m'ouvre aux autres.
C'est mignon, hein.
Que je donne aux
autres. Ça par hasard chez toi. Et en échange, je te donnerai du bouture de géranium.
C'est mignon. Petite salope.
Il faudrait que je sois différent. Il faudrait complètement que je sois quelqu'un d'autre.
J'aime ça, moi. On y toucherait bien, ce petit cul, hein.
Je sais pas si ce serait mieux.
Tu sais pas que je te vois, là, à travers mon petit trou, hein.
Faudrait changer.
On y toucherait bien, ce petit cul, hein.
Faudrait que je sois différent. Et je sais pas si ce serait mieux.
Alors, l'autre jour, il y a mon frère Jean-Loup, il est encore venu me voir. Alors, on savait pas trop quoi faire, on s'embêtait un peu, quoi. Alors lui, il voulait faire des jeux vidéo. Des jeux vidéo interactifs avec des bonhommes ou des monstres qu'on tire dedans. Alors moi, je lui ai dit, j'avais pas ça, quoi, c'était pas possible. Alors, il a réfléchi un peu, puis il a eu une idée. Il a dit on va faire des jeux vidéo nous-mêmes, quoi, avec on va prendre ta petite caméra et tout ça. Et alors on s'est filmé chacun notre tour dans le jardin, on faisait semblant d'éviter des projectiles. Et puis en gros plan aussi. Et puis après on a installé la petite télé et on a pris des œufs et puis il fallait qu'on tire chacun notre tour dans l'autre quand il montrait sa tête. Et puis on avait la petite caméra, alors on refilmait quand on jetait les œufs, comme ça après on pouvait regarder pour compter les points en passant au ralenti, c'était bien comme au tiercé. Et puis après, bon moi j'ai ramassé, puis j'ai fait à manger, puis mais Jean-Loup lui il avait pas faim du tout parce qu'il était tellement passionné, il continuait, il a mis la télé puis il dégommait tout le temps, quoi.
Et alors là vous allez vous exploser de couleurs. Large. Attention. Bonsoir, merci.
Et il est bon aux jeux vidéo, Jean-Loup, hein.
Hold it there.
Yep.
How tall are you?
I don't know, 5'8".
5'8".
That way. A security screening room as fabricated as the threats it's protecting us from.
Any guns, grenades, or unicorns on you today? No?
I think that's the point of American artist Bill Barminski's entrance to Dismaland.
Over here, sir.
Banksy says this is a different kind of family day out.
Welcome to Dismaland. Enjoy.
One, he says, that sends a more appropriate message to the next generation. Sorry, kids. Sorry about the lack of meaningful jobs, global injustice, and Channel 5. A step away from street art, this is Banksy's graffiti rendered into 3D. Can I buy one? With some of his traditional themes and some new and shocking ones. So the refugee crisis off the shores of Europe becomes the subject of the remote-controlled motorboats. And he's gathered the work of more than 50 artists from around the world, from Palestinian painters to Julie Burchill.
Good day to you, my audience. You seem a smashing bunch. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Punch. I'm part of your folk history, like Saucy Jack the Ripper. We're both a lovely bit of fun, like beating up a stripper.
That's the way to do it, that's the way to do it. A lovely bit of fun, a lovely little slapdick. That's the way it's done. Yeah!
Banksy sent me an email and he said, would you write us a modern Punch and Judy show? And having been the victim of domestic violence for quite a long time, I thought, yeah, I can really get behind that, because it's so weird and odd that British children are raised on the sight of this comic character beating up his wife, and then you're meant to applaud and think it's a wonderful thing.
You've not done art before, though, have you?
No, I'm definitely what you could call a Philistine, and always, you know, coming from a redneck background, quite proud of that fact. But I've always admired Banksy, apart from his politics.
You mean his politics on Gaza?
Specifically, yeah. I think he talks a load of border dash about it. Doesn't know anything. Oops, I said too much. Why can't he stick to things like this?
Dismaland was perhaps part inspired by the work of Jeff Gillette, who's been subverting Disney for years from his home in California.
And I see it as kind of an absurd little teeny pocket of fantasy, and then the rest of the world is a different story. And what I do is I try to find the absolute opposite of the happiest place on earth. And I'm a natural born pessimist. And I'm thinking, well, I've been a pessimist for 30 years, 40 years, and it hasn't gotten that bad, but it seems like it's just kind of ramping up. I don't know what's going on in the world, and it's scaring the hell out of me.
That's the Home Secretary giving a press conference up here.
So the only people left are the media and the police?
Yeah.
Jimmy Corti, remembered by some for his 90s incarnation in the KLF, has brought a different kind of street art, a model of a town after a riot.
And the only people that are left are the police. So there's about 3,000 police just kind of standing around, not really doing anything. It's all, whatever's happened has
already happened.
It's happened. So this is the aftermath of that.
In a television piece about Banksy, this is normally where I would say, but where is Banksy? Could he be here? Could it be that bloke over there, or this bloke over here? Well, I'm one of the few television journalists, perhaps the only one, who has actually met the artist in person, and I can tell you, that's definitely not him. Banksy doesn't do interviews, but he emailed me today to say,
for this show, I didn't deliberately set out to snub street art. I just found other stuff a lot more interesting. I seem to have reached the point where an art show is more interesting the less I'm in it.
Dismal Land has popped up for 6 weeks in Weston-super-Mare, with 4,000 people allowed in each day at £3 a ticket. They can play Crazy Golf, a war about oil. Oh gosh, that really is dismal. Lost the ball. Or play Hook a Duck from the muck. How can this be so impossible? Children in need of more cash can borrow against their pocket money. Hello. At just 5,000% APR. And the climax, of course, lies in the castle. It is perhaps the most outrageous piece in the exhibition and will no doubt draw furious, offended headlines. What Banksy has done with a fairy princess, an upturned carriage and the paparazzi is an extraordinary and evocative experience. It is precisely what he wants: controversy, humour, and 2 fingers up to anyone who doesn't like it. And how else to leave any bemusement park but to exit through the gift shop?